Hi, I'm Nikhil Rastogi, and today we have the Benq GH800 camera for you. This is a camera which has 36x optical zoom, and it's perfect for those peeping toms who love tom-tomming about their large zoom. So this camera is an 18 megapixel camera with 36x optical zoom. It can also shoot at a close distance of 1 centimeter in its macro mode. And also you have a 3-inch tiltable LCD screen with 1080p video recording. So this camera is made of good sturdy plastic and has quite a bit of a DSLR feel to it, with a DSLR grip and the shape of the body. You also have a mode dial on top which lets you quickly swap between different modes such as aperture mode, manual mode, creative modes or continuous modes and the like. So the USP of this product is its 36x large optical zoom, which is quite cool and fun, especially when you are at cricket matches and sitting all the way back in the stalls or shooting your neighbor's daughter. However, this is where the goodness, so to speak, ends, as the long zoom is quite slow to focus. And you have in no way of counteracting this with either a manual focus or manually zooming this. So it's not for those who are enthusiastic about photography but just would like, let's say, a longer zoom. This camera has a 1 centimeter macro distance, which is quite good. In fact, you can even shoot your subjects with a bit of zoom. However, if you're expecting sharp photos, the lens just doesn't deliver. Especially when you think of macro, you do think of DSLR like macro lenses, and this one, well, falls short. Benq has included a 3-inch tiltable LCD screen in this camera. This is actually the first time that Benq has introduced a tiltable screen in this series. The screen by itself is quite sturdy and it's quite decent. However, when it comes to colors, that's where a few problems arise. For example, when you do shoot with this camera and you look at the playback on the camera itself, it seems quite nice. However, when you transfer it onto your computer, you do see that the camera tends to make it look a lot more contrasty than what your picture actually is, which on the camera, while being good, off the camera, not really. So the electronic viewfinder is the first time that it has been introduced in Benq cameras, in this series in particular. And it is quite okay. In fact, we found the colors a bit off, as most electronic viewfinders go. However, it does have its uses. So for example, when you're shooting in sunlight, the big 3-inch LCD screen can get a little hard to read. So electronic viewfinder does help there. And also when you want to save battery, it's pretty decent at that too. So this camera has a special mode called the continuous shooting mode. So what it basically does is shoots multiple shots in quick successions. So as per your setting, you can go 16, 25 or 50 shots at one time. So what this especially helps in is if you want to freeze your action. So when a cricketer is hitting a shot, if you want to freeze that, these modes really help there. Unfortunately, you can't dial down to maybe 3 shots or 4 shots. You just got to go with the settings. What it also helps in is, especially since the 36x optical zoom is a little slow to focus, this shooting mode will help. But what it also does is it ignores your settings completely. So it fully shoots at full auto in this mode itself. So this camera has a 1080p video recording at 30 to 60 FPS, which is pretty okay. The quality is nothing really to talk about and nothing awe-inspiring either. What you do need to note is that at 36x optical zoom, this video recording does get quite difficult, as at such a high zoom, even the slightest camera shake will register in the recording itself. So when you're shooting this, either get a tripod or don't zoom in at all. And also when zooming, if you think you can go from 0 zoom to 36x without any issues, the camera has a lot of issues when focusing, so don't bother with that at all. So would I recommend this camera? Not really. So let's look at the pros and the cons. The first con that this has is that it is absolutely average in terms of image quality and video quality. And that's the first thing that a camera should get right. Second thing is that it is quite slow in zooming and focusing. And when you look at the pros, it has only one, and that is 36x optical zoom. In fact, if it is zooms that you like so much, we would recommend perhaps its predecessor, which is the GH650, which comes for about 12,000 rupees and has 21x optical zoom. This one, on the other hand, is 36x with 18,000 rupees, which is quite a bit, just for more X's. Also, if you just like zooms, we can recommend the Panasonic LZ20, which is about 8,000 rupees, which has 21x optical zoom, which is not bad for its price, but nothing great either. So overall, when you take everything in count, we would give this a 2.5 out of 5 stars.